Tuesday night, look out. It's the show that dances to a different beat.
Get your big mama today.
When James Coburn, Lindsay Wagner, and Stevie Wonder guest star on the half-hour comedy hour, followed by Joni Love Chachi.
And I heard Scott Baio was here last week.
Tuesday.
The airport's a zoo.
Check your trunk, sir.
Am I crowding you?
Introducing Emerald Express. Now you can travel in style, door to door, between Los Angeles, San Diego, and Santa Barbara, quickly, comfortably, and without the airport hassle. After all, you're only human. Emerald Express. The best way to fly is on the ground.
Good evening. I'm Angela Black. Coming up after part one of How the West Was Won, Steve Howe's back with the Dodgers. We'll have that story, plus Ted Dawson with all the weekend sports. See you then.
A nuclear reactor in Westwood, Tuesday at 6.
Here in Denver, it's halftime. Michigan leads Philadelphia by a score of 10-3. The final game of this inaugural season of the United States Football League. About the playing personnel, let's turn to Lynn Swann.
Talent. How much do you need in the USFL to be competitive? Where do you need it most? Certainly in team sports, it's an argument that's gone on for years. Should you go for the great individual player, put the weight on his shoulders, or should you just build a team, make it even, the kind of ball players that can win for you without necessarily having the big star? That is why we take a look at talent in the USFL to see where it really is. It's a subject of our USFL halftime report.
The USFL report is brought to you by MAI Basic 4 Computers. We are the solution.
Starting with the customary drafting process, the USFL led with the biggest names available in college, and, so some thought, the smallest of chances to sign them. But sign them they did, and they made their presence felt. From the opening kickoff, there were questions as to whether there was enough talent to form a new league. For an overview of the talent and performance in this premier year, let's look at the rookies first. Most of the talent lines up on offense at the skilled positions. The running backs are very impressive and can play anywhere that size, speed, instinctive running ability, and desire are necessary. At the receiving end, there are a few players who could give Mercury the Winged Messenger a challenge for top-flight honors. On the offensive line, the USFL had a good start with Irv Eatman from UCLA, but it's a long race. It's on defense that there's a shortage of similar talent. There are some exceptions, like Marcus Merrick in Boston, but not enough talent to keep up with the developing offenses. The next group is what I term the second chance players. For reasons ranging from personality conflicts and politics, too many players and too few jobs, injuries, and just not getting the opportunity to play, they were out of football. Names like John Corker, Fred Bassana, Sam Mills, Lenny Willis, Johnny Walton, just to name a few. They span the age spectrum in the USFL and are key players developing as leaders and standout performers, the heartbeat of each team. The third group are the veteran players who fill in at key positions to give consistency and experience to the team. More familiar with strategy, they can also teach the younger players while turning in solid performances. They have been and are still skilled performers, some of them older and not to play many more years in the future, like Stan White from Chicago. And others like Jim Smith, much younger, will play many more years into the future. The future of the USFL performance relies heavily on continued acquisition of talent. The signing of Joe Cribbs, Chris Collingsworth, Dan Ross, and Jim Kelly makes a positive statement. That's one way of looking at the USFL. Another is by position. Now, taking into account all the talent and not just the league leaders, I've rated them based on the 5-point system, 5 being the best. On offense, the quarterbacks rate out at 2. They need more young lions like Bobby Hebert. The older QBs have experience, not necessarily the arm or the longevity. The running backs, they get a 4.5, easily the class of the league, but some teams still remain weak. The receivers, 3.5. There are a few great ones, but most are very average. And the offensive line, a 2.5. Talent is very sparse here, but the young players can be developed. On defense, the down linemen get a 2.5. There isn't the one dominating player on any team. At the linebacker position, also a 2.5. There are few great individuals, and they rely on tactics more than talent. The defensive backs, again, 2.5. Overall speed is missing. The safeties have played well, but most are missing that one-on-one coverage talent. Special teams, kickers get a 3.5. There is talent here, but it's been inconsistent, especially when they double as punters. Speaking of which, they get a 3.0. Most of the punters lack consistent hang time. That's the time that the ball is in the air. The returners, a 4.0. Players such as Anthony Carter and Scott Warner have handled these duties, and they've demonstrated both speed and courage. My analysis is based on actual performance, not the potential of players. However, the USFL does lack depth. Most teams do. They have to improve in the consistency of talent in their starting lineup, but that will take time. Where they have been fortunate is in selecting coaches who have done a very, very good job. That might be the most important thing of all. They have blended that defensive talent very well and caused teams to play, well, as a team. We sometimes forget that football, being the consummate team sport, is a great deal more successful when you do play as a unit and don't rely on individual talent. Frankly, I'm impressed with the first year of the USFL. They have improved steadily. They're expanding in 1984. And maybe most important of all, the players' checks haven't bounced.
I have the solution to the problem of buying a business computer. Because if you go too small, you'll just be playing games. Go too big, pay a big price. The solution is MAI Basic 4. For the right computer, the right price. From a powerful desktop computer up to information processing and office automation systems for any company, any size. MAI Basic 4. I am the solution.
Saturday on ABC's Wide World of Sports, undefeated WBA bantamweight champion Jeff Chandler battles tough Oscar Muniz in a live bantamweight fight. Plus, Sebastian Coe, world record holder, Steve Scott, American record holder, Eamon Coughlin, world indoor best. Now, they meet in a head-to-head competition for the special Record Holders Mile. All live on ABC's Wide World of Sports after ABC Sports Beat with Howard Cosell, Saturday on ABC.
An ABC News Brief brought to you by CoverGirl Nail Slicks. Now from Washington, Tom Gerald.
Good evening. ABC News has learned tonight that former Secretary of State Henry Kissinger is President Reagan's choice to head a new commission on Central America. President Reagan tomorrow will formally announce establishment of that fact-finding commission, which will be asked to help shape future policy for the war-torn region. We'll have full details tonight on the Weekend Report immediately following the game. Meeting in Mexico, the presidents of 4 Central American states urged Cuba and the U.S. to withdraw their military advisors from the region as a major step toward preventing war. Now this.
CoverGirl asks,
Can any nail color look wet and be absolutely dry? Yes.
CoverGirl Nail Slicks can. It looks wet even when dry.
Solidarity leader Lech Walesa says new laws drafted by Poland's leaders are more shameless and inhumane than the martial law restrictions they'll replace. That's News Brief. More later on the Weekend Report.
We're at halftime in Denver, with the Michigan Panthers leading the Philadelphia Stars 10-3 in the championship game of the United States Football League. And this ABC Sports exclusive being brought to you by Chevrolet. Chevrolet is USA One, and USA One is taking charge. By Michelob Light, an exceptional light beer with a rich, smooth taste. By AC Delco, General Motors Corporation, for quality automotive replacement parts. AC Delco is the way to go. And by Honda Motorcycles, inventors of the ATC three-wheeler. Honda, follow the leader. Well, Lynn Swann has talked some about the players of the league. I want to talk some about the league itself, and I want to do it with a man who has more experience at helping build, remodel, and restructure professional football franchises than anybody I know. His name is Sid Gillman. He has worked with the Rams, the Chargers, the Cowboys, the Oilers, the Bears, the Eagles, and now, lo and behold, he's off to become the general manager of the Oklahoma Outlaws in Tulsa, the new team that enters next year along with 5 others. My first question is, why in the world are you going back? You've earned your keep. You could go fishing.
Keith, it's exciting to create something new. A new league, a new franchise, a new city, a new team, a new coaching staff, another squad. It's very exciting. I can't wait till we really get into it.
What is your impression, Sid, of the first year of play in the USFL?
Well, I think they've come along very good. It's sincerely comparable to the American Football League that we started about 23 years ago. I think that our people are getting more comfortable. Our coaches are getting better. The design is better. The players are getting better. The techniques are getting better. And I'm sure that you have seen, as you have announced these games from week to week, the great progress that these teams have made.
Well, now, when you were putting things together in San Diego in the old AFL days with the Chargers, your attitude was sort of, I'm going to put a lot of points on the scoreboard, and I know I'm going to get rumps in the seats, and we'll go from there. But the defense has been more obvious and prominent in the building of this new league.
Well, it is possible that our coaches in the new league have been brought up on the theory that you win with defense. I think in the old days, though, we felt that the devil was defense. We needed to put people in seats. We were going to throw the ball. We did throw the ball. Our people came to see us throw the ball. They didn't care where it went. They didn't care who caught it as long as we threw it.
Right. Lance Allworth and that bunch, they were spectacular. The good Lord only makes so many quarterbacks and so many cornerbacks. And right now, most of them are in the NFL. But this young A-Bear now, he has blossomed into quite a quarterback.
Well, he excites me. I think he's a great talent, and I think with some experience, he's going to be a great one. But keep in mind, too, Rome wasn't built in a day. We don't have those great quarterbacks right now. We don't have those ends. Our quarterbacks are not reading too well. Our ends are dropping the ball. That happened 23 years ago, Keith. And as we went along, our quarterbacks became better, our ends became better, and I'm sure that you'll see as we begin to sign better people that our football is going to increase.
Sid, we've got to get better officiating. That may be a hard way to say it, but it's the truth.
Well, that may be the truth, but I think everybody complains about officiating. They do in the National Football League. They have always complained about officiating in the National Football League. And look at it in the major leagues. These managers are complaining about umpires. This is the one thing you can't take away from sport, at times, bad officiating.
That's right. The expansion now, Memphis was added to the list today, so you've got Memphis, San Antonio, your team in Tulsa, Jacksonville, Houston, and Pittsburgh. One of the things I've sort of wondered about from the beginning, though, if they want to really increase the marketing base, why not consider inviting the CFL, the Canadian Football League, to merge? Because they're big stadiums up there in Vancouver, Toronto, Edmonton, Montreal.
Well, their football up there is very good, but it's not my decision to make, and I imagine one of these owners might consider that thought.
Sid's always good to see you. I wish you good luck in Tulsa. I know that's an enthusiastic, prosperous city, and you're probably going to have a heck of a lot of fun.
Keith, Tulsa is a great city. I think they've been waiting for our team, for a team of our sorts, to come in and be the catalyst for great things to happen in Tulsa.
Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Sid Gillman, who will be the general manager of the Oklahoma Outlaws. Ready for the start of the third quarter after this commercial message and a word from our local station.
It's happening. The love affair continues.
I got a Challenger.
I got a Sapporo.
Because among sporty Japanese-built cars, two of the best buys are Challenger and Sapporo, imported for Dodge and Plymouth dealers, built by Mitsubishi. And now both come with 9.8 annual percentage rate financing or $400 cash back.
I got a Challenger.
I got a Sapporo.
Challenger and Sapporo, imported only for Dodge and Plymouth.
We've designed 3 different Levi's outfits for the U.S. Olympic team.
Hey, those are neat.
Help us pick the best one.
Tough choice.
And you might win a Levi's trip for 2 to the Olympic Games in Los Angeles.
Bonnie would love that.
Naturally, you'll go Levi's style. First-class airfare, chauffeured limousine, 10 grand pocket money.
That style.
The Olympics Levi's style sweepstakes. Enter now at your participating Levi's retailer. No purchase necessary.
Unless I see something I like.
Okay.
Tension, unrest, good news, hard times, protest, peace. We'll bring you your world with Peter Jennings in Washington and Max Robinson in Chicago, weeknights on ABC's World News Tonight.
This is the moment when you need the quick response. and smooth acceleration that comes from Exxon unleaded regular gasoline. It has all the octane most cars need to help free your engine from knocking and pinging. And for even more octane, try Exxon Extra Unleaded. When the moment demands performance, get Exxon. Quality you can count on.
A Larry Hayden creation. The highest qualities of consistency, accuracy, and realism. Over 300 hours are expended on one carving. When it finally meets his standards, he gives it his signature. The new Kodak processing signature means high standards, too. Over 30 quality checks are performed before your prints are returned in this envelope. When you have your film developed, ask for Kodak processing.
Monday night, Gene Hackman breaks up the French Connection.
Here are your halftime statistics in this ball game with Michigan leading Philadelphia 10-3.